Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby.
Welcome into this Wednesday morning, the 5th day of February, and for 47 years we've driven by that building that says New Frontiers Home Furnishings, and I am just so glad to have you guys in the studio. How are we doing today? How are we not doing good? It's an anniversary here. This is great. And we got Cathie, Barb, and Ed in the studio. Ed, 47 years ago, did you think you'd still be here doing the same thing now?
No. Probably not. Probably never thought that far ahead.
Well, and before we dive into the full kit and caboodle of the fun of the 47 years and the anniversary sale that, of course, we want to fill you all in on, let's talk about the story a little bit, Ed. What made you get into the furniture industry, the furniture business, and what led to New Frontiers?
Well, I think I just kind of wanted to be my own boss. I was working at a steel fab place. But then I started making Adirondack chairs out of my dad's garage.
What's an Adirondack chair?
It's a wooden outdoor chair named after the Adirondack Mountains. They're real laid back. I mean, they're all over these days.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, everybody's, but back in the day, they were new. I mean, not new. I mean, they were, but when I first started selling them, I was just calling them lawn chairs. And there was somebody at a show way up north. We used to do shows all over the country, and somebody said, "You know what that chair is called?" And I said, "No." She goes, "It's an Adirondack chair." So I started making those, and then we moved over here to the 500 block of Broadway, started making just little small wooden things and outdoor furniture, and people would come in and asking us if we had tables and chairs, and I'd say no, but I'd walk them on the sidewalk and I'd point down the street. Well, that place down there does, and then finally I thought, well, what are we doing here? And I thought maybe I'll start handling tables and chairs. So kind of started like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, take me through, if you could, the first couple of years of business and what that, really looked like for New Frontiers, because that's where I always find it fascinating. We see the name now when we, see it 47 years later, but what do those early years look like for you and the business as a whole?
Well, the real early years, like I said, we were just making outdoor.
Right.
And then we started like I said, I'd walk them out on the sidewalk and I'd say, down there they have tables and chairs. And so when we first kind of evolved into handling a little indoor, we were all unfinished. We just did unfinished furniture. And we did that for a long, long time. And then, I don't know, I guess we were still on Broadway when we started handling some finished goods. But then this building down here was the old Jupiter. It was vacant for years, and I bought that in '87, I think. Wow. And we thought we'd never be able to fill that thing. We did. We thought we'd never be able to fill it. And but now we got the lower level jam-packed, the upper level. Love to have a bigger store, but that's probably not the case.
Well, that's where you come in to keep buying. Then we can keep upgrading. Too. But Barb, take me through your time here at New Frontiers and how your journey started.
Well, probably just coming to work for my brother. And,
is he a good boss? Let me ask you now. No pressure.
He is, actually.
Good job, Ed.
Over 47 years, we've only probably argued a few times. Yeah.
What? That's good.
No, I'm just working for him back in the early days with Sue, his wife, too. Just when we would unload trucks and put all the furniture down in the basement on Broadway. And, we kind of did a little bit of everything and came along with the move, and here we are. It's changed.
100.
And when we first started, there was the old bridge, and one of the real estate agents, Gene St. Cyr, he, when I came over here, because I grew up in North County, and I came over here and I just wanted like a building in the industrial area. There used to be one down there. And so I go looking for a spot, and he goes, "Oh, you need to be up here because like on Broadway, and everybody who came over that bridge back in the day, you had to turn right. You came over that old bridge, and you had to turn right. Well, so you went. Everybody went by our place, and if it wasn't for him, telling me you need to be up here, I never would have made it. So just being in that exposure on, right there, that's what helped us.
Well, and we have the old video, a video of someone driving the old Clark Bridge on our YouTube page, and it just blows my mind. Just the nuance that new bridge did.
It was a scary one.
It was a scary bridge. You got that right.
It's one I'm glad I didn't have to drive on. I'll just be honest with both of you. Well, and Cathie, before we dive into New Frontiers even further, take me through how you got involved with the business.
Well, I was selling advertising.
Oh, okay.
And came in and talked to Sue, who is Ed's wife, and she hired me to come in and work a couple of evenings a week and on Saturdays. And then it kind of morphed, and then I moved away, and then I would come back here on my vacations, and I would come and work at the store just because I liked it so much. And then when I moved back, they were gracious enough to take me back, and so since 2015, I've been involved.
Really cool. Well, and I think it's such a testament too, just to see, if you're, still around all these years later, since, especially as a family business, because I come from one a little bit with Rigdon and all of that, and know a little bit of, just the testament of will and passion to keep things driving. And, Cathie, for you to have a couple of cups of coffee and then come back to the kit full time, that just shows that you are ready for new frontiers all the way.
Yeah. I love the furniture store, and they're great. It's just small family-run business, and everybody's like family, and
We have a lot of fun. It's a good team.
Well, and take me through that with your relationships with your customers too, because I'm sure that's important. And, it's almost, I could imagine knowing some people just by their taste when they walk in the door of, here's what you'll like, Mr. Smith, just because it came in the other day. Is that kind of where you're at now with some of your clients? Do you have generational ones?
We have generational ones, but I don't know I would ever be able to pick out anybody's style for them walking
You
in
don't
the
think
door.
so?
No. Well, younger versus older maybe, but that'd be about it, But
Fair.
the more you talk to them, though, the more you can figure it out.
Yeah.
These ladies are very good at, all the custom upholstery, all helping ladies pick out fabrics for their sofas and everything like that. They're really good at that.
Well, and you do a lot of home shows, don't you?
Well, we do. We used to do tons of them. We don't do quite as many anymore. We're a much smaller crew than we once were. We've kind of evolved into manufacturing greenhouses. The outdoor furniture is being replaced by greenhouses.
Really?
And we started in '08 doing those, and we weren't really marketing them very much, just every once in a while at a show. But now anywhere we go, that's all we do is greenhouses, residential greenhouses.
How can people reach out to say, hey, we want one?
Well, you can come by the store, go to the website and see it,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that on your website? Can we take them through it after a commercial break?
Yeah.
Well, we aren't going to take the break yet. I just want to show you some of the things that you could be stopping in and seeing at New Frontiers, correct? It's pretty updated?
Yeah.
There we go. Hey, I always take a chance sometimes, We'll take you on the screen now. As you can see, on New Frontiers, just takes you through some of the different furniture options they have. And then also, you can get a taste of some of their vendors by category, and really by name. And look at that, a lot of made in the United States vendors on your list over there.
We try.
What's your current best selling vendor? Do you guys have one if someone comes into that they look for?
Yeah, that would be hard.
There's a pretty even mix. But when you come to soft goods, sofas, etc.,
okay,
I guess Craftmaster is one of our big names.
Really?
North Carolina, all made domestically.
That's one that really is familiar with. I'm not too familiar with manufacturing, but that is one that even sticks out to me when I think of it.
Yeah.
Really cool. Well, hey, guess what I found? Gentlemen and gentle ladies, right here on the screen. More information on greenhouses. This is incredible. And, take me through how long did it take to really perfect the process, if you will, for these greenhouses?
Well, it took a little while. We kind of designed it, and I think one of the reasons we didn't want to just go full bore is because when you ship, it's shipped in a kit farm.
Yeah.
And when you ship these things in a kit, and if you're shipping them halfway across the country, you got to have it right. It's got to go together right. So we didn't really make a big push until we were confident, that everything was going to be fine. And I've got a team that, does some assembly like locally, and they'll even go as far as like Indiana, Cincinnati, and they'll set them up for customers who don't have a handyman or are not handy themselves, but our delivery crew, we got Tony, Jeff, and Gary, but they're heading out to Denver tomorrow morning for a garden show out there. So
really cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm just looking through it. Just seeing names from Ohio and Indiana and different places. That's really cool to see.
Yeah.
Well, and now take me through the process. So, do you need some background in putting in construction to be able to put these kits together?
Well, probably.
Okay.
My father was a carpenter.
Gotcha.
And I worked at a steel place, learned how to read blueprints, etc. There's.
Good to know. I'm just in case someone wants to buy it that thinks they're handy and maybe just needs to call the experts to finish the install, you know?
Yeah, install, yeah.
Absolutely. You guys got a moment to stick around? I got to pay a quick bill. Cool. We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show on this Wednesday morning comes back right around the corner on this 5th day of February. You stay there. We'll stay here on RiverBender and Roku TV right after a quick break.
Get access to care for anyone, anywhere, at any time. No appointments, no waiting rooms, no traveling. OSF on call.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois, with specials 5 days a week. Mondays, roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab select 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. Daily Show smacking you in the nose on a Wednesday morning. Back with new Frontiers Home Furnishings. 47 years. That is home. What is that? That's double my age. Well, and you know, how have you guys in this? What I think so cool too is just the ways that you have to evolve. You know, especially when it comes to this type of industry with furniture. Take me through how New Frontiers has evolved through the years. I know you have the website, but was it just kind of staying on top of everything? Was it just kind of adapting ahead of time? Take me through just some of the ways you kept it going.
So I think that, like I said, we started out unfinished, and then we kind of moved into some finish, but we, and then I guess, I don't know how exactly, because it's been a long time ago, but we started going to the furniture market down in High Point, North Carolina, my wife and I, and that was probably, had to be in the 80s, I would think, you know, probably around mid 80s, and then you just see everything out there. You know what I mean? It's just a huge market. It's international. Yeah. You know, and then that's when we started seeing more finished goods, and then we just started adding. And then we would stay with that. We would go annually, and styles change. You know, they say we're in a fashion business. I mean, it does. They always do change, and to stay on top of it, you almost got to attend markets and stuff out there.
Is it true that it funnels into the Midwest, that it starts on the coast and funnels in with design and like fashion and fad?
I don't know that I'd be able to say that. I mean, I don't know. Because, like I said, these are international.
That's what I was curious about.
It's not necessarily when they're showing it to anybody who's attending markets. Or you could be, but I don't know if trends do that or not. I don't really know.
Interesting. It's just what I think so fascinating though is to hear all the nuances to the business, because I would have never have thought about just some of the garden shows and some of the home shows and some of the research that goes into it. And then I got to add, the moment you're kind of awakened to what's out there, take me through like the glasses coming off moment when you're seeing all of this new variety. And what was that like? Just that moment where you're like, oh my God.
I don't know. I don't know how I can answer that one, Cathie. You got any idea? Market. I take these.
It's a lot.
When we started going to market together just a few years ago, and I think that probably blew their minds.
Well, it was always on my bucket list to go to market. And he made it happen. That was really cool. But no, it can be overwhelming.
I'm sure.
I mean, it's fun, but it's just, and it's just like, oh, this is so exciting. You're going to get to go and you're going to spend someone else's money and you get to pick all this stuff out. But at the same time, by the time we're done with those 3 or 4 days, you don't want to shop anymore.
Oh, I'm sure it's exhausting.
It's
a lot of work. Yeah.
But it's a lot.
It's so cool to hear of what all goes in, though, to it, because I would have never even suspected. I couldn't tell you step one for furniture other than, it probably that mine's getting ready to fall apart soon, and I need to go see new Frontiers Home Furnishings. When someone's going in, though, and they're looking at some of your products, what do they take away from, let's just start with living room furniture, because, I see those couches on, Amazon that are like, $38 for the 6-foot sectional memory foam that then falls apart because it's Plex board or whatever you call it now, and it falls apart. But when someone comes in, what makes a piece of furniture good quality? What are some of those traits that we should be looking for?
I'm going to take that one.
Oh, boy. I mean, I think good customer service from the vendors that we have is one.
Yeah.
Their warranties, just all of it combined, really, because it's a lot when people come in to try to customize something, and some of them don't even know that you can do that. And
I didn't know that. Yeah. I'm learning something.
And the same with dining. When people come in for dining, it's huge, all the options that you have. And
you got to shop value. We try to shop value. That's what, like Cathie said, we're a market. Sure, you can just go out and say, I like that, let's buy it. But, if it doesn't make sense, you said, this coast to coast, but in the Midwest, if it doesn't make sense, it's got to be a good out
You're right.
And that's what's kind of like, you got to think.
Well, yeah, and going back to the whole trends thing, each, out west is going to be trending different than what we're going to be trending here in the Midwest. I mean, it just...
Right. Well, and you hit on something, both of you did there, all of you did really, because it's one of those things, I have fallen out of this chair so many times.
That would not have been good.
That's why it's good to tape every once in a while, but what I've noticed is it's like, if you're selling bad furniture or not good quality, we're going to notice quick, because whenever it goes out, are we going to stop by the store? And that's where I think it's so unique, because if your pieces, are quality, it's going to be a few years before we might see it to replace. It might be 10 or 15. My grandparents' couch, of all things, is from like the early Jacoby days. And it is still as functional as it was. Now, new fabric and stuff and all that, but it just shows you what that good piece can do. And also what it does to that homeowner, too, when they're able to kind of bring that stuff in and make that room their own.
Well, and I think it's also a testament.
Yeah.
47 years. You didn't get there by not doing all of these things.
You're kind of already pre-vetted at that point in time after 47 years, because you're right, 100% over, Cathie. If you weren't doing the right things, we'd know pretty quick. And I think that's why people keep on coming on back. And now we have a chance Speaking of 47 years, we haven't told you the sale details yet. We've only been talking for 20 minutes, I know. But you can save big. Like, we're talking at least 15% big.
Yep,
I'll take that and run to the bank any day of the week.
Yeah.
Fill me in.
Got some kind of financing deals too. You know, you can do 6 months, or there's options for 12 months, but we do some free financing too.
Do you really?
During the sale. Yeah.
See, that's great to know, because I think that's a holdup too for, maybe my generation when it could, because we're bad shoppers. I'm going to tell you that now. For me, because we'll see that, IKEA thing and we'll buy it and realizing, well, you just wasted $400 because you're going to have to buy the same one in about a year or two. But if we know there's a payment plan that we could, meet, hell, we'll all be in on that one, because that's good. It's good stuff. What's that normally look like, just to kind of dive in a little bit more on that, because I'm fascinated.
What, the financing part of it?
Do you do like 6 or 12?
Well, I think we got 6 months going with the 15%. And then, you can get it, what was it, like 10%? And then
a year free
in
financing.
a year, or even 18 months, 12 to 18
Wow.
months, yeah. So.
What are you doing at home? You better get up and start moving here, This is really cool. And I just think that's such a great call to action, because I started this show 3 years ago because of all the buildings I kept driving by but never knew enough about. And this is one of them, because now I know where I'm getting furniture at. I'm an Alton boy, we're going to keep it here. And I hope that all of you stop by and really be a part of this this sale at 101 West 3rd Street in Alton. You can also call 618-465-8868 for more information. But, going through this, looking ahead, because I know 47 years, it's going to be hard for me to say, so what do you expect to do in 47 more years, But what are the next...
Push up Daisy?
Heck, I might be doing that at that point. Who knows? But it's the point of what's the next, couple of years look like for New Frontiers? Is there any goals that all three of you have in the room, or any ideas that you'd like to bring out or let the public know in on?
Just keep doing what we're doing, I think.
Keeping on,
as long as we can.
No immediate plans, so,
So keep buying, keep shopping.
Yeah. Yep, there you go. We'll go with that.
Well,
if they keep shopping, we'll be able to stay there,
And that's what I mean, because seriously, and you guys really, going back to what Cathie said, 47 years to do this, I mean, it's because you care about the community, you care about the customers, and, in return, they care about you. It's a good relationship. But I got to ask you, has there been one individual, don't name them, don't even have to give us a character description, that came in and had the absolute worst taste in the world, where you're like, I don't even want to give you this. Can you we'll just pretend that this never happened? Well, has there been one person that you're like, no, we aren't selling this to you?
I don't think so.
We try not to handle that item.
That's right. See that?
That isn't what we don't want to sell. We're confident in selling anything we have.
Well, and that's a good point. So there's no way I could go in and one time I always tell this story.
Sometimes when they pick out fabrics for the sofas, you might think, I don't know.
Yeah, but then you just gotta kind of,
it works
talk.
for them.
Yeah, you just keep talking.
That's a good answer.
You do. You just keep talking.
See, that's where it goes to the customized aspect of
because a lot of people can't visualize.
That's where I'm at. I couldn't tell you lick one of what looks good with what color and what pattern looks good or what fabric.
Well, we help them. We help them visualize.
See, that's where you two come in, and why are we even doing any of the hard work ourselves here, And that's it's so important, though. And I wanted to ask you guys this, too, because whenever you're looking at that, we come in, that's where I'd get disconnected, because I'd see, some furniture. I go, oh, that's perfect, and let's take it home. But there are ways that you can truly make it your own with fabric and different options. Can we talk about that really quick, if it's okay? How the customized process works and how it looks?
Well, that's pretty.
Is it pretty broad? What?
Yeah, it is. I mean, but you just come in and you kind of pick the colors that you're wanting, the feel that you want.
And it depends on what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I was curious about. Is it for all things, or
some
just
things are just
okay.
come in and I like that, I'll take it, and then that works as well. But if they really want to customize it, there are options. Yeah.
What are your most customizable pieces?
Probably living room and dining.
Yeah, I mean dining too.
Dining is huge.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Man, that's so cool. See, I'm just fascinated by all of this. And I really hope if I'm learning something a little bit, I hope that all of you are too, because I mean, just more that we can keep talking about New Frontiers and get you in the storefront, because I'll be there soon. I'm telling you this, it's on. I am 100% on knowing there's financing. I pay on time, by the way. I do pay on time. Just Cathie, are you the one that they send after, if I'm not paying on time?
Not me.
Cathie, what's your favorite part about working for this company, working for this industry, and also just working, with Barb and Ed?
I don't have a favorite part. I just like it all. Some people like go and do a job. Like, I love what I do.
Right.
And so, when you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. So cool. I don't go to work. I don't go to work.
You just live.
Yeah.
And every day is
I love
different.
my
Every
job.
day is, it's not the same. Everything is something different happens, something.
This is so
And
cool.
I mean, and it's just like, when you work well together, you just work well together. Like,
Yeah.
we'll change things around the showroom and we're moving stuff and we don't even have to say anything. We just know. Like, we'll pick it up and we just know which way to go.
This is cool. See, that's
And that's unusual. I mean, that just doesn't happen.
It really is. I mean, and really kudos to the team here and you guys coming down and really appreciate your time today. And I know I always tell you 20 minutes or 15.
We got a good delivery crew too.
We haven't gotten there yet. Trust me, we're going to end with the delivery crew. I don't forget my deliverers out there. But real quick, I want to talk about the sale one more time. So it's at least 15% off, but up to how much?
Oh, some things are clearanced and 30% or more. So it just depends. But
so it's time to stop in the store and see what's on sale.
Mm-hmm.
And, we were talking during the break, and that's why I did want to end with your delivery folks, because you guys are in a business, especially with, the kits and everything else, that, I mean, you got to have a good crew, because if you don't, that could, get a little interesting, to say the least. Take me through some of your crew, and let's give them that shout out, because they work just as hard as everyone else.
We got Tony down there. We got Jeff, Gary, just about 3 guys doing the deliveries down there. But,
no kidding.
But this stuff is heavy. Some of these power sofas, I mean, they'll be the first ones to tell you. They'd love to be telling you. They're heavy, and you've got to be careful. You got to be super careful, like you alluded to earlier, so. And then just make sure it's right. And we go the extra mile. If somebody wants something hauled out of their room or something, these guys, they'll work with the customer. And
that's so cool.
So we get a lot of calls to people that they love the delivery guys.
Well, and
the other day, if I may, we had a delivery for it was like a 10-foot high deck.
Oh.
Yeah. And we had
the longest
big
sofa
leather,
we had.
the biggest, heaviest leather sofa. And that was like one for the record books. I thought, man, we can't do that.
You said a 10-foot high deck?
Yes. And we had to go over the handrail. And Tony, like I said, he was the one, because if it was me, I'd say, man, we just can't do this.
Where's the crane?
Yeah. And he said, we can do it. And
wow.
And we had both of the other guys out there too, and 2 of them up and on the ladders and pushed it up. And
that is such a good point. How many times do people buy furniture and not realize it when they're buying it? It can't fit in their home.
Well, they
we had one. Yeah, they had to take their door off.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, man.
They go above and beyond. They really do.
Well, and see, that's what's really cool. And Cathie, you were telling me that you guys get phone calls all the time about your delivery crew doing good work. And that's just...
I got one. I got 2 today.
There you go. You know what that means? Place your orders, because your items are in safe hands. It's not the Amazon guy that just kind of throws that sucker like that, I mean, I don't think you could do that with a couch, and if you could, the WWE's calling you. But at least you'll know that, seriously, it's in good hands. And now throughout the entire month, correct, we can save big at New Frontiers. Yep. Happy 47th birthday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are out of time today, but I'll see you all back here tomorrow on Thursday for more of our daily show, the 6th day of February. So until then, go out. Well, you can't really go outside. It's kind of yucky out the next couple of days. But what you can do is watch more daily show on RiverBender.com. And in the meantime, try your best to stay out of jail.